Okay, Phil is back again. Um, kind of unusual, but I've had a few inquiries about cold weather stuff. Winter. I've had some winter questions. I mean, we're in spring summer season right now, right? Spring and summer season. But that's okay. Like I've said before, I'll take questions about any season at any time, so it's no problem. Just if you have questions, feel free to email anytime, and I will see if I can answer your questions, right? So, somebody asked me, well, how do you feel about, Glacier glasses versus goggles, for winter? All right. Now, I'm going to tell you that I have both. I'm wearing Glacier glasses right now, and in the past, I've had several of each. In the past, I had, well, I still have them somewhere, but I had a set of Bolle goggles, and I had another. These are all French. This is all French stuff. Set of Bolle goggles. The foam disintegrated on them. I also had a set of another company. I don't remember. Foam disintegrated on them too. That's the goggle thing. Sometimes, well, and things evolve. Things get better over time in a lot of ways. Some things will get better, some things will not get better. They'll just be cheap. You know, they make things cheaper, right? But foam is something that you know it's like tire rubber, right? Nowadays you have different types of rubber combined with things, and it doesn't disintegrate over time. It stays together. Like, but the foam rubber, that stuff disintegrates. But back in the day, I had a set of Bolle Glacier glasses, which had the side shields and the mirror finish on the lenses, and then these Julbos and Bolle goggles and that other brand of goggle. I can't remember what that was now, but people are like, you know, mostly goggle oriented these days. But you can wear these for skiing or cross country or downhill or what have you if you want. And then one thing that people will wonder about is the mirror finish on the glasses, or maybe even the goggles. Some goggles have mirror finish on the goggles, but what you got to remember is that will reflect your surroundings. So if you are, let's say you're winter warfare, right? You're doing some winter warfare training, and you're wearing a set of these, or wearing a set of goggles that have that mirror reflective finish. The trees and the snow will be reflected in there. You know, so you're gonna get that predator. That type of predator camouflage, right? It'll just reflect whatever is around it, right? But you could also go with just smoke colored if you wanted to. But in a snowy environment, that smoke color will stand out more than the reflective color. But it's all depends on your circumstances. Like these, wear these in the desert warfare situation. You know, if you're riding a buggy, you know, you got these. I've got a cord on mine. It's a parachute cord. All right, and the Bolles I gave away uh, a long time ago. I gave them away. I don't know. They didn't quite work for me. Um, they might have been just a little bit too wide or something. Because they do have some different sizes and sunglasses. But the thing about these is that they wrap around the ear. But if I wanted to take them off for some reason, put on my regular spectacles, I could do that. Just let them hang there. But I made this parachute uh, cordage. I made it a certain length and the whole thing, you know. And then I sewed it to where their tails weren't just here and there. You know, everything's is good, you know. And they fit on the arms, you know, snugly. You know, so if I take it off, let it hang, friction keeps it from sliding around and, you know, all that. But goggles, well, you know, guys, if let's say you wear glasses, right? So if you got a pair of spectacles on and then you put on goggles, you know, sometimes the goggles a good fit, sometimes not such a good fit, you know. But a lot of them are pretty good now, and you get airflow, you know. But then you can buy a goggle insert. You know, you could get another set of lenses, another set of spectacle lenses, and put them in a goggle insert, and then put that in your goggle if you want to. Sometimes manufacturers will have corrective lenses for, you know, for their sunglasses, right? So these particular ones here are 100% UV, you know, protection. So I could wear these, some cruising around, you know, the hinterland in a buggy. You know, I don't have to worry about my eyes getting damaged by, you know, too bright a sunlight out there, whether it's in the desert or just in the scrub brush or whatever. And then as well, you know, I mean, they're called Glacier glasses, you know, so the sun is particularly bright on a glacier. There are levels, you know. You could go darker even for like real high mountain, like say you're going to climb up to the top of Mount Everest. You know, if you have very sensitive eyes, you can go a shade darker. You know, but this is a good all around. You know, glacier glass. You get a set of good glacier glasses like Julbo or Bolle, and the it's going to be good for almost everything, you know, or for everything really. I mean, because you still have 100% UV protection, UVA, B, and C. But just the amount of light transmitted to the eye, you know. And then the side shields, if wind's kicking up, you know, you don't get crap in your eyes. Get a little bit more protection with a goggle, like if there's a sandstorm or a snowstorm, you're going to get a little bit more protection with that, but not a lot. This will allow a little bit of air up through here to keep these from fogging up too badly if you're like overheating and working hard. Yeah, so either one, I think it's really going to be your preference, and it's going to be, you know, you you decide depending on what you're doing and how, you know, how you feel about wearing uh, wearing either the glasses or the goggles, you know. Yeah. So, if you're out there, you know, if you're out there either on a snowmobile, you know, snowmobile, snow machine, whatever you like to call it, of course you're gonna have, you know, you're gonna have wind that you made by going forward quickly, you know, so the air will be going past your face quickly, and you know, you may or may not want a goggle, or it's really preference, guys. Yeah, it's really preference, um, and how much protection you need. Like I said, goggle will give you a little bit more protection, you know, a little bit more enclosure, I guess you could say. But as far as eye protection, um, like my current goggles, they have protection against, you know, they're designed to be protection against shrapnel and stuff. And I mean, you have to pick and choose. So that's really it's that's kind of like my non-answer, because it's totally up to you what your preference. But as far as manufacturers, you know, like right now I think Desert Locust is the goggle I've got. I can't remember, Revision, I think Revision Desert Locust or something. That's a good one. But in the past I used Bolle for my goggles, and I had Bolle Glacier glasses. Had the Julbos. You know, these are the Julbos here. Uh, yeah, but that's what I would pretty much recommend. You know, don't cheap out, guys, when it comes to eyewear or eye protection. You know, get the good stuff. You know, I try to recommend anything you do. I always try to recommend get the good one. You know, because the good stuff always lasts longer. It's always made better. Well, most of the time, you know. Do a little bit of digging and research on the products before you buy them. Julbos have a 100% lifetime guarantee. You know, if they warrant any problems, like not wear and tear problems, but things that are manufacturing defects or whatever. Like say the frame cracked or something. You know, this is a metal frame. If the frame cracked or something, then, you know, they would warrant that. You know, send it in, and, you know, I'm not going to say they'll give you a new one. I'm not going to make any claims as to their warranty, because I've never had to use the warranty. Um, but I don't recall whether the Bolles had a factory warranty like that or not. But anyway, this company's been around since the 1800s. You know, so they've been doing eyewear a long time. That's just to let you know. Looks like I'm out of time again. Alright, dudes, dudettes. I'll catch you later. Have a good one.